what's going on? I want to talk about my raw food slash paleo experience, and it's about a 7-month update, so to speak. I'm probably just gonna put no, it's actually probably 7 months, but I haven't been keeping track day by day. I don't know when I started, but from my other videos talking, it's around the same time. So I've been eating raw food, of course, consciously picking raw foods. There may have been maybe some honey that I wasn't sure if it was raw, or like I didn't really eat too many nuts, but there may have been a couple nuts or two that weren't exclusively raw, because sometimes they pasteurize those and I didn't get those in a shell. But all we can do is hope and assume. So yeah, consciously everything was raw. I haven't cooked anything, and I haven't wanted to cook anything either. I don't plan on cooking anything probably for the rest of my life. I may have cooked, I may have boiled a tea, but that was just like an herbal tea, which I think that's pretty excluded, and I don't think it really kills it. It's more of an infusion when it comes to that. So, and I didn't even drink much of it anyway. Some of the foods, I guess I'll start with that I ate raw. I pretty much ate a lot of the raw, like, standard foods. I've had pork, I've tenderloin, ground beef, all sorts of cuts, some lamb, some bison, a couple fish. I've had some high meats, organs, liver, brain. Yeah, and liver, brain. Yeah, I think that's it with the organs. Maybe a couple other ones, heart. But I don't have really good. A lot of the things are really expensive and hard to source, especially like the rarity ones. I usually just go what I like, what I want. I probably ate a lot of liver more than anything, and more so beef. I've also had chicken. It's actually not bad. Usually stuff was high quality, pasture raised. Some of it was low quality, definitely. Probably grain fed for sure. Eggs, I've had milk, cheese, cream. And then of course I incorporated salads, green juices, and a whole array of fruits. Honey, a lot of raw honey. Probably a lot of raw honey for sure. And yeah, so that's the basis of what I ate. I mean, of course, that's pretty much like every food group. The only thing that I didn't eat was actual grains, though I probably had like hemp seeds. Don't know if you want to consider that a grain. And like I said, some nuts. But no grains at all. So that's what I ate. And I guess I'll notice what has improved, or what I just noticed about eating raw foods in general. You're definitely, number one is, I do get thirsty, but I'm definitely not as thirsty, like, at all. Like, drinking way less water. I'm still healing. I'm still in the midst of a lot of healing of chronic fatigue. And I've tried eating certain ways, like just meat, or, you know, maybe just the contrary, fruit and salads. And I've done none of them. I've done like little segments, but nothing exclusively, intrusively long, like raw meat for months. I have been eating it consistently. There's been a couple times where I didn't eat it for a couple of days. I would say 3 would be the max. 3. In those days I would eat fruits and salads, and probably had a lot of 1-day fasts and maybe a couple day fasts. I don't remember when I was doing a bunch of my dry fasts and water fast. There was exclusively like I don't know if I was even eating completely raw, time where I'd eat fruits for like a week or 2, but I don't know, I can't do that. I don't know, I just go by instincts, I'll just say that, and what I want to eat basically, and it may change in the future and I may adapt. I don't like sticking to some complete regime that I'm not feeling, and I'm gonna listen to my body. But as a basis, it's all been raw, and like I said, it may change, and this is 7 months. I drink way less water for sure. Like, that's probably number 1 thing. I do get thirsty, like I said, and I have adrenal fatigue and it's chronic, so I get thirstier at night and have more energy kind of later in the day. And no matter what I do, I don't have energy during the day, well, especially at the beginning. No matter how early I wake, what I do. The shadow is kind of cool, I guess. It's just weird how it is. Me holding my iPhone. I've noticed I did get my amalgam fillings removed a couple months back. So I would say out of the 100%, I was feeling completely horrible and wanted to kill myself every day, which never really felt that my entire life. The same. The fillings, I would say I'm at like 90% better. 90%. Yeah, so it's hard to give like a lot of health complete updates. I feel better about the food I eat for sure, and I like it way more. I don't like cooking anything. I've also taken some herbs a bunch of times in the midst of this in sea salt. Now, I don't crave sea salt, and I never really have. Maybe a few times, but that was way before. I don't crave it at all though. But I do add it because for minerals, and it's hard for me to drink water because I'm so fatigued that I can't drink water. Like, my adrenals are so weak, since water doesn't have no consistency, I can't hold it. When I add salt, I don't need to drink as much water, believe it or not, and it allows me to drink water. I know that's hard to understand, but if you've never had adrenals down and not had an inability to drink water, then you wouldn't understand. But yeah, that's probably the worst thing is not being able to drink. Celery juice, I have drunk a lot of that, a lot of vegetable juices. Like, I just can't go on a vegetable juice. Like, there's just some things I don't like a lot about people talk about. I mean, it's not that I don't like it, I just feel like it's completely useless. And I'll go over them real quick. And I would like to give, I don't like to go 100, I'm 100% raw foods, but I was never the one to say, oh, you know, with the raw vegan, and go completely with that. And because I wasn't sure about it, I didn't want to go completely behind it. But that was back when I was vegan. But the raw foods, I'm for surely behind. I just feel comfortable with it. I like it. You don't have to cook anything. It's easy, super easy, and it is enjoyable, and you don't really get bored of it. And again, food's not for taste, but anyways, I took a lot of vegetable juices, the celery, a lot of celery juices for sure, and those are way more easy to hold down than the water is. Water's just, and I've tried a bunch of different waters, they're all the same. I mean, some might be better, but at my case, holding it down, nothing. So the celery juice, And raw milk is real easy to hold down. It's the easiest like liquid I can probably take down. It just holds down better, has more constituents to it. So that's that. But celery juice works too, and I usually try to do that every morning. Every morning, usually. And that's what I've been intaking, digesting. And with the meat, it hasn't been, like I said, there were some days that I didn't eat it every day. And like those days were fruits and salads, or maybe I didn't eat nothing at all. So, like I said, I do feel better, just overall better. I mean, it's everything raw. I love it. I just love that, you know, how you don't have to cook nothing, just the feeling about it, easy preparation. And I just feel like it's way better for you, like the optimal top of the game. Sometimes when I go without the meat for certain period of times, I feel like I need it again. I was in the dairy more, maybe so at the beginning, and not necessarily as much now. Doesn't mean I don't eat it, but I just do what I want. Like what I ate today, for example, in the morning I had about almost 2 cups probably of raw cream and just some raw honey. That was breakfast. And then I had about maybe 8 ounces of raw meat and some eggs, 2 raw eggs with that, raw ground beef. The beef was pasture raised. And that's what I had today, and just a little bit of water and some sea salt. And then I took some herbs because I decided for my adrenals to try to hit them. And that's what I took today. As with like just eating fruit, and there's something like, I don't know, when I just eat, I don't think that's natural. And I don't have nothing against it. Nothing against anything. I just feel like if I wanted to eat meat every day, then I would. But I don't necessarily want. It's not that I don't want to eat it every day. It's I don't want to eat it every moment. As of right now. And there's some days I really don't. And I usually compensate by eating like raw cheese or something. Like going on a jute fast and. This is what I was going to talk about. Like going on a juice fast and going on just like eating fruits. One thing, when I eat just fruit, I can't just eat that all day. And I'd rather just not eat anything. It's just like, it doesn't feel right eating all that sugar all the time. Something just doesn't click with me when I do that. But it may be different for you. I do tend to like salads, but I have to have my salad with some type of fat. And I know people say animal fat's completely different. I agree, but I usually, when I do eat salads, I have to have it with tahini. I just have to have it with tahini. Because like the greens, with just sugar and leafy greens, I don't feel that either. It has to have some fat in it. And my picks, I usually I love raw honey. I've ate way more raw honey probably than anybody, I guarantee that. I probably finished a pound in 1 to 3 days. With the salads, I have to have the honey and the tahini when I eat the salads. And I'll be fine with my salads, you know what I mean? And like I said, I just listen instinctually as of right now, and I recommend you doing the same. As going on for like, people say, oh, just go, you know, I've heard some people talk about it, which you may not have, go on a juice fast and just drink green juices and some fruit juices for till you can't no more. I just would rather not drink any juice. I'd rather just drink water and water fast, even though I can't handle water. I just don't like that. I don't, and it doesn't feel natural or normal or sane to even do that. Like, and then there's the whole topic about intermittent fasting, which is like taking 14 hours off. The usual standard one is 16 hours, and you only eat in an 8-hour window. I think, one, you're trying to cram way too many foods in 8 hours. And I don't think that's natural either. And you should eat when you're hungry. And I just think do you think you're going to get in some, people think you're going to kill diseases or some pathogy, whatever, if you're not eating for 16 hours. I think that's a bunch of blah, and it's stupid. Intermittent fasting to me is completely stupid. And the reason I think this is because if you are going to fast, which is just drinking water or no water at all, of course when you drink water, you're going to go longer. I think intermittent fasting is stupid because you might as well just do a long fast and do a whole long fast with a bunch of hours instead of doing this nibby-bibby shit. And then you just force ideologies in your head doing it every day. And it's, I mean, hey, if it works for you, that's fine. I think the concept is stupid completely. And I don't think that's natural either. And you should definitely eat if you're hungry, if you're not trying to go for a long spend. I only think fasting should be done long term. Like, if you're gonna fast, do it for a week or two. And dry fasting, of course, you know, you can't really go long. So yeah, those are just my thoughts. Have I had any issues or any diseases? No. I seem to have improvements everywhere. The only problem that I had, well, that's being thirsty, which is because I can't take water in, which is why I drink the vegetable juices and add the sea salt and celery juice. What seems to work the most is sea salt. Believe it or not, I drink less. I only had one issue other than the water issue, but that's not really with this, is cheese is pretty constipating no matter how raw it is. I guess like if it's like cottage cheese or like some real soft cheese, but that's pretty much cheese I made on my own, that's real easy to digest. Whereas you get some hard aged cheese, adding honey, I've definitely got constipated because the cheese, but came out, of course, not the end of the world, and it made me stink. But I did eat a lot of fat. I did a kind of like my recent one, I ate a lot of fat, like a lot. I pretty much ate a pound of butter with a half pound of cheese, pretty much. And I think there may have been a little honey involved in that. And that actually came out it came out good. It wasn't like when I'm constipated, it was like strong and clumps, like super strong. It wouldn't come out, hurt coming out. This actually came out because it was just today, actually. It came out, but there was a little blood. So cheese is just really hard to digest. But cheese is probably actually my favorite raw food because I like the taste of it. It's probably my favorite, to be honest. And I do really like salads, but I know a lot of people are against leafy green stuff, and that's for them. But if I had to pick my favorite tasting, because of course the tahini and the honey, I know, with the salad, but that's probably my favorite tasting. And then maybe some dairy products are my favorite tasting. And I still think the most nutritious things are probably like around raw cream, raw milk, and definitely raw liver, probably over anything. Probably the most nutritious out of anything. And I do, when I eat the cheese, I don't like raw butter. I just don't like it. It makes me squeamish inside. I don't know why, I just don't like it. And with anything really. And what was I gonna say about the yeah, when I eat cheese, I always seem to want to eat more of it. I really like it. I know some people say it has opiate-like effects, but God forbid, it's a food. And yeah, when I eat it, I always want more of it. I know it has a high concentration of minerals, so that might be why. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Keep you updated. I feel pretty good, and of course I'm going to keep going, so stay tuned, subscribe, give me a like. Any questions, leave them below. Have any video ideas, let me know. Thanks for tuning in.